Good morning. How are you? Tired? Yeah, I'm sure you are. Once we made it back home, you just passed out. And you didn't wake up for a while. I honestly thought I'd have to go to the underworld again to go get you, but then I remembered, you see, you got used to being a spirit more quickly than I thought you would. It's a lot more of a freeing feeling to be a spirit, much more than being a human. You don't use or need any energy or strength to move around as much. So when you suddenly come back, it was too much on you and you collapsed. Yeah, that's my fault. I forgot to tell you about that. But it was either that or complete erasure, so I had to figure something out. Sorry, I should have told you. I could tell you weren't feeling well on the way back around the halfway mark of reaching your home. I thought you were just tired or hungry. You might be that too, honestly. I don't know. I haven't been active in this world for I don't know how long. I haven't ate anything in millennias. Not that I needed to. Are you hungry? You are? Okay, well, um, I'm not sure what you have to eat. In my time, we ate fruits, meats, and barley, oats, and rye. We barely had any currency to purchase wheat at the time, so bread was off limits for people of my class. What was that? When did I become a reaper? I don't know, honestly. The last thing I remember was my mother feeding me homemade porridge. It was one of the best things I've ever tasted. Even if it wasn't much, you could taste the love my mother put in it. And around that time, there was a plague going around. They called it the Black Death. So, feeling that love was an escape from what was happening around me. Maybe I'll cook it for you. Would you like that? Why do you look surprised? Is that not what you or any of the other humans eat now? You must be a high class citizen, aren't you? No? Well, what do you eat? I can't imagine it's any different from a burger? What in God's name is a burger? Don't tell me it's a new plague. Is it worse than the Black Death? Oh, it's food. Okay, well, that's good to hear. I'd have a lot more cases on my hands if that were the case. I'd have a lot of work in store for me back at home. If I can call that home anymore. Hell, I might not even have a job anymore. Sorry, back on topic. What are some places we can get them from? Maybe I can give them some silver pennies or barter with them to give me. A what? You can't be serious. There's a Burger King? What, is that King Edward III's offspring or something? If that's the case, I'd rather not go anywhere near royalty. Not that they're bad or anything. It's just, I don't want to be reminded of my mother. Let's just stay here at your place for a while until we figure out our next move. Why are you looking at me with somber eyes? You've been doing that the entire time we were in the underworld. Is there something you want to say? My mother has nothing to do with you. Don't even bring her up. No. Keep your mouth shut and mind your... Sorry. We're not talking about her. Why did I even save you? Why did I have to risk everything for you? I should have just... You're nothing to me. You never have been, nor will you be. So, why is it that your soul is so irresistible? Listen, I'm not in my right head right now. I'll just go make you some porridge or something. You just stay put and sit here. Don't touch me, okay? Don't talk to me. I need to be on my own for a while. Where do you keep the food? In refrigerators? What the hell is... I'll figure it out. Just get some sleep or something, and I'll be back. Oh, hey, good morning again. Sorry, I didn't know you were up already. I know, I made a big mess. I promise I'll clean it up. I know, I just got confused. There were so many bags and plastic boxes, I didn't know what to do with them, and they just fell out. I barely knew how to work this thing that breathes fire. Apparently, you have to turn this knob a little to the right and it gets brighter and more hotter. What is it? A stove? You have so many weird names for these things, they don't make sense to me. But, anyway, your food is ready. Go ahead and go to the table and sit down. Here you go. Let me know how it tastes, and if you like it. It's how my mother used to make it. You like it? Great. I'm happy to hear that. And I'm happy to hear she can live on through me, even if it's just through cooking. Listen, I'm sorry for how I acted earlier. I didn't mean to yell at you. That's all I really have to say, honestly. My mother is a sensitive spot for me, which is why I don't talk about her much. But I'll humor you this once. It's not like nothing crazy hasn't happened between us already. I mean, I saved you from erasure. So I guess telling you this is nothing. My mother was a wonderful woman who was born in a cruel, terrible, and disease-torn world. She had red hair that shimmered in the sun's radiant yellow light. Her smile was the purest thing in the entire world for me. I never understood why she smiled despite our circumstances. I could tell that having me was more of a burden than she let on. She never told me, but my father told me every day. He was a tall man, skinny, with rough, dirty black hair. He was a drunkard who hung out with other drunken men. But he was the worst, and I hated him. But I couldn't help but feel sorry for him. Before the plague was around, he was energetic and loved us as if we were his entire world, like a family is supposed to be. But when the plague occurred, his friend Alexander was the first to die. Then his mother, and his father, and eventually his little sister. He was never the same after that, and who can blame him? Every time he came home, I feared trouble was around the corner. He used to hurt us emotionally and physically. And one day, I couldn't take it anymore. He came home drunk and shoved my mother on the floor. And I grabbed a knife. I could do nothing but watch in horror. But I moved quickly, tripping him on the floor, his legs collapsing in front of him, grabbing the knife and, well, you get the rest. My mom looked on in horror at the scene. Then she picked me up and ran away. She was crying, but I could tell she was grateful. We hadn't eaten for days after that, and eventually we came to a hut that used to belong to an evil witch that was slaughtered by knights. Sure, it wasn't home, but there was a fire. It was warm, and there were just enough ingredients to make porridge. But there was only enough for one person. I urged my mother to take the last of it for herself, but her being a mother, she gave it to me. And that's when she told me she had the plague and didn't have long left to live. I was torn. Not only did I lose my father by my own hand, but I would lose my mother in the coming days. I had to do something. She was getting sicker by the minute. Not too long after that came nightfall. I ran out to find someone to help while she was asleep. And that's when a strange man approached me. He knew about my mother and knew she was dying. He told me if I work for him and guide the lost souls, he would heal her. But in return, I'd live for all eternity. Me being the kid I was, I didn't think about it. I just wanted to save my mother. I didn't care about living forever. All I knew was she didn't deserve to die like that. So I took the deal, and I was changed. I didn't recognize myself anymore. I was conscious of my unconsciousness. I felt hollow, yet alive at the same time. I didn't pay it any mind. I rushed back to the hut we were staying in, and when I saw her, she looked on in horror at me. She screamed, "Who are you? What have you done with my son?" I tried to explain what happened and why she was feeling healthy and better. That's when I hear my own voice behind me. She rushes through me and goes to him and hugs him right in front of me. I was distraught and didn't know how to feel. I tried to plead with her, but she called me a monster and tried to kill me. So I had to go. That's when the man came back. He told me that things would be better for me in my next life. And I believed him because I had no one else to believe in, not even myself. After a while, the time came for my mother to pass, and I was chosen to guide her soul. I could tell the years haven't been kind to her, and she looked at me. I said, "I'm sorry, miss, but I'm here to take you to a better place." She seemed at peace with it. As her last moments of life were fleeting, and as she breathed her last breath, she told me, "I'll miss you, my son. I'm so sorry." And she was gone. And her soul passing on was the brightest I've ever seen. It was beautiful. You see, the reason why I didn't know how to treat you was because you remind me of her. Your soul was just as bright, if not brighter, and I didn't know how to feel about it. It caught me off guard and made me emotional. I knew immediately why I felt the way I did. I just didn't want to admit it. So I didn't tell you. And that's why I decided to save you. And here we are now. That's the full story. Oh, wow. All your porridge is gone. I didn't know I spoke for that long. What are you doing? You don't have to. It's okay. You don't have to hug me. I'm fine. Can you let go, please? I'm fine. So, what did you think about the porridge? I guess you liked it if you ate it all. Hey, can I ask you something? This doesn't change anything between us, does it? I don't want you to treat me differently because of any of this or anything I said. Our current relationship is fine to me. Only time will tell. Hey, enough with the cryptic answers. That's my job, sweetie. I mean, nothing. Never mind. I didn't say anything. Oh my god, stop teasing me. Is there a storm coming? Hold on. Oh no. We gotta go. It's him. Come on. We need to hurry up before.